We are here in the end game, the last 1 month of NEET PG preparation, and if you do not get this phase of preparation correct, then every single thing that you've done up till this moment will be a complete waste. I have friends who have consistently scored more than 550 in grand tests, but because they could not revise the syllabus effectively in the last 1 month, they have not got, unfortunately, good marks and not a good college, the dream branch that they wanted. 1 month before my NEET PG preparation, I was scoring somewhere around 550 in my grand test, consistently scoring above 500. But in the main exam, I ended up with a score of 609. And that is only possible after the asymmetrical revision strategy that I implemented and I want to share with you today. So I will share with you a timetable which will help you revise 19 subjects 3 times in the last 1 month. How many grand tests should you give and how to review them, and how to add a minimum of 50 to 60 marks in the NEET PG preparation in the last 1 month. So I want you to screenshot this particular timetable. This covers the entire 19 subjects in the last 3 months. And if you see over here, 1 day before the NEET exam on the 14th is when you will go through your 20th notebook that you've been working so hard for. On the 12th and 13th of January, you'll be going through your WhatsApp groups. And if you're not familiar with this concept of WhatsApp groups and how you can actually capture volatile topics, screenshot stuff, screenshot photos and put it into your WhatsApp groups, I think you should see the read down in the description of how making your own WhatsApp group for 19 subjects is going to boost your preparation. See, how will you know what to study in the last 3 days before the exam? So for that, you need to divide those last 3 days into 2 types. Okay, the last day is for 20th notebook, and I hope you have been making a 20th notebook of all the volatile topics, the classifications and the tables that should be revised, that should be at the tip of your fingertips when you enter the exam hall. Apart from this, when you're solving questions either in grand tests or PYQs and you come across a particular statement, a one-liner which you cannot forget, or a screen or a table or a answer or an explanation to an answer which you'll find a lot of times very lazy to enter it into 20th notebook, you can take screenshot of these MCQs and add it onto your WhatsApp groups. And in the last 2 days or 3 days before your exam, that is the 12th and the 13th of June, you will be going through this WhatsApp group that I have made, and I have shown you exactly how to make it. So if you follow this particular timetable, what you'll be doing is that when you wake up in the morning, you'll be going through the bookmarked questions that you have bookmarked for that particular subject, because you would have bookmarked it with some logic, right? And this is the one that I have to study a few days before the exam. So go through your bookmarked questions, and after that you have to just glance through your notes. You would have concised your notes based on the tips that I gave in my videos, correct? All your revision notes, you would have concised it using PYQs. You have to flip through those notes. एक बार आंखों के सामने you should just go through and make your brain familiarized with those particular concepts, with those particular facts. Okay. Now I used to always sneak in a half an hour here and there. Like once in the afternoon, I would sneak out some time after lunch when usually you feel very drowsy. I used to take a walk on the terrace over there on top, and I used to solve a custom module. This is going to be a custom module of recent needs, a PYQ based custom module of that subject I'm going to do. It doesn't really matter how many MCQs you solve at this point. You just have to keep on solving and not waste a single moment. And at the night, I would solve the previous year question mixed bag custom module that Cerebellum would make. So every day somewhere around 10 o'clock, 10:30, just before I slept, I used to solve the Cerebellum PYQ custom module. So this is basically something that they came up with, like last 10 years of NEET PYQs. They will just make a custom module like mixed bag MCQs of all the 19 subjects. Within a particular time frame, you have to solve that. And then they will give you your score and your rank. So just at the end of the day when you're sleeping, you are still productive, because to solve an MCQ, your brain still has to be active, and it's something that you're doing at the end of the day. And you'll be going through the explanations of that particular MCQ of the PYQ module. So at least 40 different previous year topics you would have revised just before sleeping. And you don't realize, but there is something called as intuition, there's something called as guesswork, there's something called as a second brain that is there, the intuition. So that intuition of being able to eliminate options and answer in the exam, that will only come when you are solving maximum MCQs as possible. Even when you're tired, if you solve MCQs, it's going to help you on the day of the exam. So let's say if you are a Cerebellum user, please use this PYQ module, and I know that at the end of the day you will be tired, but this extra edge is what you exactly need to get the top 5000 rank. So when it comes to grand test, you need to give 3 more grand tests. Okay, one you give right now, okay, and the next one you should give somewhere at the end of this month, and the next one you should be giving 10 to 12 days before the NEET PG exam. Now this grand test you need not really dissect and analyze it thoroughly, okay, because these 2-3 next grand tests are going to make you prepared to sit in that exam hall for 3.5 hours without any distractions. You still have the possibility to concise your notes in the last 1 month. If you can go through BTR, if you can go through the revision notes, if you can go through first aid, okay, for very specifically, if you can go through those topics which you don't find that are easy to you, if you find a concise source using any of these methods, please use it. If you're ignoring a topic but suddenly you discovered that it is now going to be very important for me in a NEET exam, but I don't really have a good grasp on the topic, use a concise source like BTR or first aid for that particular topic. You have to find not shortcuts as such, but you need to find jugadu techniques to get through the entire syllabus in the next 1 month. You literally need to rip pages from your revision notes, from your BTR notes, from your first aid, and keep them in a file. So it may seem very ugly to tear pages, okay, but it does the trick. In the last 3 days before the exam, you need not keep on flipping books to find that particular page that you had annotated something that is very important for the exam. No, tear that page off. Okay, use rulers, use scissors, tear a particular segment or a paragraph and you keep it in a file that you have to read this in the last 3 days before the exam. So earlier I mentioned that you need to make WhatsApp groups and you need to make 28 notebooks. There is still some time left. You have 1 month and you have 3 revisions to give the entire syllabus. You can always give multiple revisions within the revisions itself if you know exactly what to revise. So for example, let's say you're doing biochemistry on a particular day, right? But suddenly you want to revise medicine. So you open up the WhatsApp group of medicine that you have made and you start going through it. Even if you spend just half an hour going through that particular WhatsApp group, you have revised the most volatile topics in medicine that you felt for yourself. So that's it, guys. You have to revise the syllabus 3 times in the next 1 month approaching NEET PG, and as you have seen, you are going to keep on concising your revision. The first revision that you do in the next 1 month is going to be that you're going to integrate the concepts and familiarize yourself with the revision, with the facts. The next revision that you'll be doing, right, that will actually boost you and prepare you to get those extra 50 to 60 questions correct in the NEET PG exam, and the last 3 days is your edge. That is the one that will get you from a rank of 5000 to even 2000 to even 1000. So it really depends. Put your maximum efforts in the next 1 month and you'll be ahead of the competition, going into your dream residency, into your dream college. The grass is definitely greener on the other side. You have just 1 month more remaining. Make full use of it, and I'll be there over there to guide you in your residency once you finish your NEET PG. This is Dr. Anirudh Bhat signing off from Goa Medical College, the first year medicine resident from Goa Medical College, and I will see you on the bright side of residency. All the best.